I'm going to talk about my life, even if it somehow takes me 10 minutes to get to any sort of actual root problem or thing that seems a little bit specific. But right now, I'm just in a mood. It's the holiday season, and I definitely feel the fact that I'm getting older and the time is passing, running through my fingers like sand. It's about to be 2026. I had this weird panic earlier today when I realized I was 27 and I was kind of like, oh my gosh, Club 27, I am gonna get Amy Winehouse, which, I mean, some people do it to themselves. Others have had it taken from them. Honestly, like I have such a vague and surface level understanding of Club 27, so I really shouldn't even have it as like a legitimate fear in my life because honestly, fears come most of the time from a lack of like knowing the full details of something that, is confounding or confusing to you. Like fear comes from a sense of the unknown. So, honestly, if I don't know much about it, I should probably just like release it altogether and just like not be afraid of it because like obviously, you know, and maybe I could just do some research and then not be afraid. I guess there's like a double-edged like that's sort of like a double-edged sword thing because there's definitely some fears that I think could be alleviated by research, but then others that are definitely going to be exacerbated by a focus on that material, such as like like murdering. I've never been like a true crime person because I think it makes you think or like a little more anxious that that could happen to you. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like bad things happen to people, but at the end of the day, when they talk about like the average lifespan being somewhere like what, 74, 75, like around that, like that means that the vast majority of people are living good, long lives, girl, completely unharmed by this violence. So it's like you really, most of the time, life is like pretty magical and safe in this modern era. That's at least one thing we can say for sure. Although it feels like so stressful to almost be in a situation where most of the time, like your things that you have to deal with are more so like wants rather than needs. Like when you have to live in survival mode and focus on like making sure that you have food instead of like, you know, what is it? Actual self actualization, like the higher like rewards of things. You know what I mean? Like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like if you're only focusing on acquiring food and water, you don't have to worry about the top of the pyramid, self actualization and achieving like your goals and dreams, which at the end of the day somehow ends up being a lot more stressful because of the fact that, you know, I feel like at that point, like most of your needs are met. So you're like really just clinging for, what is it? Pining for something to do with your existence. You know, when you need water and you're like, ah, and then you get water, you're like, yeah, that's so great. But then when you can open up your fridge and have water, have food, you always have known a life with shelter. It's like really hard to figure out what to do now because I'm not just gonna die. Like, I'm not living in survival mode. Like, and I think that's one of the biggest, most stressful things about capitalism, if that's what I'm really saying. So yeah, that is definitely something that I have thought about. I'm gonna give this a few more minutes. What else is going on? I've lived in Los Angeles for 5.5 months, 5.5 months, still very much adjusting. I feel it in my soul. Sometimes I just literally don't want to adjust anymore. I'm so tired of it. I would just love to give up and go back to the way that things were in the past when I was a child and things felt inconsequential. But simultaneously, like, like I love my life. I've chosen this life. And it does sometimes feel like sometimes I wish I could like give up and go back to the past, like the way my life was before I moved out of my parents' house and then lived in New York for 4 years and now live in Los Angeles. But that's impossible because even if I were to move back into their house, it would be a brand new time and era and I would still be stressed. Isn't that crazy? Like, you just really cannot escape the uncomfortable nature of existing no matter what you do. And that is why I think that we should be a little more compassionate towards billionaires because they're uncomfortable with existing too. Like, Jeff Bezos, sometimes his tummy hurts. You should feel bad for him. This is, I guess, the point that I'm trying to get to. I'm just kidding. I'm really joking. I'm really joking. But you get what I'm saying. That is, I think, when people are like, oh, why do you need all that money? You don't need all that money. Well, it's because no matter how much you have, you will always feel as though you are lacking, and you will always be terrified that you may lose everything. Because life is fleeting, and at any time, this whole planet could explode, and it could have all been for naught. So, like, hold on to whatever it is that you feel that you can. I really wish there was something to hold on to. It's really crazy how, even though, you know, like you think that you can sort of like grasp and like really, hold on to your life, again, people and places will become memories eventually. Like everything is fleeting. Everything, like I don't have a lot of the clothes I wore in the past, a lot of the different technology I used to have, like, and use every single day, the phones I used to use every single day, they're gone. It's like, I don't know, these are just random objects, but in general, just like in life, like, there's just nothing to hold on to. Like, everything, even the skin on your body regenerates. All the cells die and they flip around, and it just won't be the same in 7 or so years, I believe is what they say. So, yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. There's absolutely nothing to sort of like grip onto that stays the same. Everything is a victim of time and of entropy, and that's just one of the most lovely things about existing. I accept it fully. Super excited to live and exist. But yeah, I mean, that's just my thought right now, the passage of time. It's almost the new year, so happy new year. I hope you guys are excited for a new year because it does bring new experiences, new challenges. Life is nothing without its challenges. Don't ever forget that, you know? So, yeah, I guess that's just what I'm going for right now. And I love you, and I'll talk to you later.